Welcome to Off Topic with Mike and JD. I'm still JD.
And I'm still Mike.
And welcome to the show. So today we're going to talk about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now you might be saying, hey, why are you talking about a game that's over 2 years old? Well, one, we didn't have a podcast 2 years ago. And two, they're still releasing new characters for it, so it's still relevant in my opinion. And three, what do you care? Just watch it or don't watch it.
Stay out of my business, Mom.
Stay out of my... Stop being so snarky, hypothetical person I made up. So now, see, I actually have extremely mixed feelings about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like, on one hand, I feel like it's one of the best games ever. On the other hand, I feel like, oh, but it could have been so much better.
How so?
Like, well, one thing that I'm disappointed in by is like lack of stuff from other installments. Like I totally miss the trophies. I love the trophies.
Mm-hmm.
The spirits I don't get. Doesn't do anything for me. They annoy me. Like what? They should have kept the classic trophies. And then there's just modes that were fun in the other one, like break the targets. That was always fun.
That was fun.
And then I felt the single player mode was more fun, especially in Melee, because you would have to do all the obstacles. Like, you know, it wasn't just beat the characters. There was a couple of side scroller like things, and then there was also fight Team Kirby. I always loved fighting Team Kirby.
Yeah.
And also, Brawl had such a good, I felt, story mode. Considering that it's a game that doesn't run on the story, I felt they did a good job of the story mode about making the gameplay, interesting and stuff. With this one, I have heard you get to control Master Hand eventually in the story mode, which that super intrigues me, but overall I find the story mode just to be a slog a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's because it's like, go this way, but it's all just standard battles for the most part, and it's like, I love the standard battles, but I could do that in the regular mode. Like,
right.
This mode should be doing something different about it.
Yeah. I'm of two minds about it. I definitely miss... I mean, the Subspace Emissary with the cutscenes, it was so well produced. I think that was definitely one of the strongest elements of Brawl. But I also am a eternal single-player gamer. Like, I don't know. I think the thing that I'm going to... I'll just get this out of the way at the beginning of the episode, so all of our non-existent fans who are upset by this can leave. I don't really like competitive 1v1 gaming. I don't enjoy, like, the precision of Street Fighter where you get down to, like, frame-perfect moves and, like, Melee, people are, like, wave dashing. They had, like, this obsession with, like, the tournament-level play. And I think that's cool. Like, I appreciate that that's, like, an aspect that the game has. But it's not something that appeals to me in any way. So I'm just a single-player thing. To me, Super Smash Bros. Is the ultimate party game. It's just a game you have a bunch of people over, you throw it on, I want to see Pikachu punching Bowser, and, like, it's silly fun. You have, like, all these items. Like, it's similar to the card game Smash Up. You just, like, it's the equivalent of, like, an 8-year-old taking their two favorite action figures and just, like, smashing them together. Almost literally, if you count the whatever vague in-universe story there is.
Yeah. But on that, I completely agree with you saying. And a lot, like, all those hardcore gamers, you can't play with the items on. It adds so much random chance to it. And I'm like, well, that's kind of the point of the game. Like, it's supposed to be a game where where the better player doesn't always win. Yeah, the better player usually wins, but, like, the items are there, so, like, look at that. The underdog got lucky with the items and won. Like,
right, exactly.
That's part of the fun of the game is Like I definitely agree with you. Like that, the people who take this to the extreme, I feel like, I mean, you do what you want to do, but in my personal opinion, you're missing the point of the game. It's not meant to be that type of game. It's meant to be like you said, the ultimate party game that's simple enough that anybody could just take a controller and if they get lucky, win a game. That's what it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
And I never played Super Smash Bros. 4, but I felt a lot of the changes. I felt they were catering way too much to the tournament style people, like how they made Samus, Zero Suit Samus, Sheik, and Zelda separate characters. They only had Charizard for the Pokemon trainer because I know the tournament people. They like, no, you can't have two characters. That's unfair. Which, in my opinion, is not unfair because if you want that advantage, pick that character. But it's not an unfair advantage because that's just the powers of the characters. But I felt they did a lot of things to cater to them. It felt like to me.
Right. I feel like Super Smash Bros. Melee was like kind of, they didn't expect it to be such a hit as an esport. It was like supposed to just be like kind of, because I've been playing Super Smash Bros. Since the N64. I've always loved it. But the first one was kind of just a like silly, fun game. Like no one was, to my knowledge, no one was like, there were no tournaments for the N64 version of Smash.
Yeah, I don't think there were even game tournaments were really a thing back then.
But then like Melee came out, it kind of surprised Nintendo, and I think they kind of tried to tone that down a little bit with Brawl. Like you said, they introduced the story mode, a lot of like silly nonsense, and they introduced tripping, which was like, it's a dumb idea, but like the idea that like your character just randomly will sometimes fall on their face for no reason, and it
also, the Smash Balls, which they hate the tournament, the hardcore players hate.
Yeah. For me, I'm like, I have to have those on. I love the animations of like the finishing move. It's very like Dragon Ball Z-esque of like, I think that was just a lot of cool, Brawl. I loved Brawl. I think Brawl was one of my favorite iterations of the series. And like you said, I think with Wii U, they kind of tried to bring it back to that tournament. They took out tripping. They like separated the characters. I didn't mind separating Zelda and Sheik because at least you could kind of like make an argument of like, oh, well, like Zelda in some games isn't Sheik. It's like a kind of a different character. But Samus and Zero Suit Samus, like,
well, actually,
why did you separate?
I kind of get because see, with Samus and Zero Suit Samus, it was the whole Smash Ball combining them. Like, well, what if you prefer Zero Suit Samus? But then there's the Smash Ball. Do you not use the final Smash and miss out on the opportunity? Or do you use a final Smash but then use a character you're not strong with? I got. But
I thought that created like an interesting choice. Like, Super, you could balance her final Smash to be like more powerful. But on the flip side, now you have to use this other character. And you did have the option to either not use the final Smash or, I forget what it is, but there is a way to start as Sheik or start as Zero Suit Samus.
There was a way to start as Zero Suit Samus, but then it's like, with the Smash Ball there, you can't let you don't want your opponent get in the final Smash.
And then, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't have an inherent problem. I did dislike that they took away Pokemon Trainer and just gave us Charizard. That was nonsense.
And also they took out Ice Climbers, who I don't think anybody even likes the Ice Climbers, but still, it's like, why are you taking away people? Like,
there were some rumors about like the way it controlled because it is weird, like with like two characters. But like, why did you take out like Mewtwo? There was no excuse for that.
Well, Mewtwo they took out because they wanted to play. That was always a marketing thing. In Brawl, they replaced him with Lucario because he was from the new generation. Then they replaced him with Grand Ninja because then again, new generation. That I get. That's
But I'm sort of the same mind as you of like, you should never take away content. Like if you're going to introduce a new fighter, keep them in the game. Don't like take them out of the game.
Yeah, but like I said, that I forgive because it was basically here's basically the same character. It's not like. But I do like how Ultimate has everybody in it. Even
Yes.
Pichu, who was totally included as a joke in Melee. Like there's no way they created Pichu with the intention of, oh, people are gonna love this character. They were like, oh, this is gonna be funny. Like,
Yeah.
but even that comes back. Switch. Let's actually talk a bit about like the character roster in Ultimate. Not yet about the new characters we might be getting, but let's talk about the current characters.
Right. I mean, I think in general, like, to me, the more characters in any fighting game, the better. And that's like the most fun part of a fighting game for me, is the different character rosters and the different moves. One of my favorite fighting games that was not Smash was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which had like 150 something characters. And
wow,
it was just ridiculous. And I loved it because like every match was different, and you could just set it on like random, and you never know who you're gonna get. You could get like any of these crazy characters. So like, and Nintendo is such a rich, like, storied, company, and now they're even reaching beyond Nintendo to just like video games in general. So like, there's so many iconic characters that you're like, oh, who would win in a fight? And it's just like, it's a fanboy stream. So I love Ultimate for that reason alone. It's just, like you said, bringing everybody back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I love the lots of characters, but it's like, I don't like. Now, Roy is my favorite character, and I like all the Fire Emblem characters in general. But it's like, why does Fire Emblem have like? I feel like they have like 8 characters. I think from Fire Emblem, and I'm like,
yeah,
why? Like I think the only series that had anywhere near that much is Pokemon and Mario, and it's like. You can't, like, those two are, two iconic Nintendo series. They deserve to have that many characters.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem, like, they should be represented, not by 8 characters, though.
Right, like, I think someone on the design team for Smash just is a huge Fire Emblem nerd, because I can't explain how they have almost as many characters as the flagship franchise of Nintendo, which is the Mario franchise. Yeah. So, I always get a little bummed out. We'll talk about it more when we get to like the DLC characters. But I always get a little bit bummed out when they're like, "Oh, a new Smash character got announced," and I'm like, "Oh, who is it? Is it Crash Bandicoot?" And they're like, "No, it's Chrom." And I'm like, "All right, tell me who that is."
Yeah. It's actually a fun fact I read online. Martin Roy were not originally even going to be in the American release of Melee. They were just going to be the Japanese version because, the games only came out in Japan. But in test markets, even though the people did not know who these characters were, they liked to use them. And that was totally me. I did not know who these characters were. They were some of my favorite characters, though.
Yeah,
and then it was after their Smash popularity, they're like, hey, let's bring the series over to America.
My mainstay character since the very first Super Smash Brothers is Ness. I love Ness. I'm obsessed with Ness. I've never played Mother. I tried to play Earthbound. It was grindy. It was funny, but I couldn't get into it. But I still love the character.
Hold on. What type of game is Earthbound? Now that I think about it, I don't even know.
It's an RPG.
It's an RPG?
Traditional RPG, yeah.
Okay. Because I know the Fire Emblems, I tried playing one once, but it's a turn-based RPG, which, if you love those games, great. Not my thing at all, though.
I love the Fire Emblem for because it's like a tactical RPG. I love it, but I can't handle the permadeath. As somebody who's gets too attached to my characters, I just reload every 5 seconds. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I think it is very odd the choices they make. Some of the inclusions, but I think maybe they're having fun with us. I think they know how obsessively serious that we take it, and then they kind of poke fun at their own audience by being like, "Oh, you thought we were gonna give you this character, but instead we're giving you Piranha Plant," and they all have a laugh at the office.
Well, you know what? Which did actually transition to the newest character announced, which again is a character I never even heard of, but. If you look at the online theories, everyone's saying, oh, it's going to be this character from Xenoblade 2, and then they actually flat out made a joke about that in the announcement trailer. The guy's like, "Wait, I thought I was gonna be the Smash Brothers character."
Yeah.
Which,
yeah.
which like I said, which never heard of Xenoblade, so I get that disappointment. I'm like, who? When announced, but that was still such a funny way to do it. I give them credit for that.
It was pretty great, and I loved the tease. Like I was on the Nintendo Direct where Banjo-Kazooie was announced, and they did this thing where like you saw this shadow, and and then it's like the Duck Hunt dog,
Yeah.
and which is my like most hated character.
Well, I want to say something Duck Hunt one second, but first I'm going to say Banjo-Kazooie, I've been saying should be a character since Melee.
I've been saying that since N64 because I love Banjo-Kazooie.
So I was so happy when he was included.
Yeah, me
About
too.
the Duck Hunt character, okay, that character doesn't even make sense. The dog in the game kills the ducks. Why are they teaming up? That
And
makes no sense.
also the dog I don't think is named Duck Hunt.
That is also true. Why is the name Duck Hunt? That makes no sense either. That character makes no sense.
Yeah,
I-
not a huge fan of that character. I get that it's like an iconic NES thing.
Oh, the game is iconic. It just the character makes no sense. It's hilarious. It's a hilarious character to have. I don't mind having a super bizarre, hard to use character. I'm just saying it makes no sense. But
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of those like they're messing with us at this point with
Yeah.
like the Wii Fit trainer. It's just like why? All right, sure, why not?
I mean, the first was Mr. Game and Watch, which is I love how random he is, but like that was like their first like time they're like, hey, let's try to go a bit out there, like
Yeah.
like 'cause- and then like they build on that. Oh, let's do some more out there characters. And though I gotta say, Snake makes no sense in it. Like Snake just does not fit in the game in my opinion. Like I don't mind him being in the game, but if somebody had to go, it should be him because he's like from like a totally different genre. He's never even been, I don't even think he's been on a Nintendo system ever.
No, the original Metal Gear was for the NES, but
Oh,
then
was it?
yeah, but Metal Gear Solid was never on the NES.
Yeah.
That's a PlayStation thing. But
Yeah, so
I disagree only because I just find it so funny to see this juxtaposition of like this like manly macho man with his rocket launcher just getting like slapped upside the head by like Kirby. Or like just Kirby eating him and having the 5 o'clock shadow. I will say, I do think it would water this down, the joke. Like, I don't want them to include, like, Scorpion and, like, all these... Like, if there's too many, serious characters that are not Nintendo, I think it kind of does water down the specialness of Snake. But I don't mind just him being in the game. I think that's fun.
Alright, so now I think there's two more characters left in the pack, right?
Oh, yes,
I
there's
think
two
it-
more DLC fighters left in this season pass.
So name one. Start with one character. Name one character you would like to see.
All right, so I'm going to give you first some characters that I want, but these aren't necessarily my predictions of who I think it will be.
No.
These are characters that I just personally want. My number one want is Beautiful Joe. I think he would be the perfect include. I mean, his game is already like a fighting, brawling game.
Yeah.
And
he was actually a character who crossed my mind as fitting
I
perfectly.
love the original two games are like I love them. They're such great games. And I love like the movie aesthetic, how his powers are like movie based and he can like slow down time. You could do some really fun things, I think, with Beautiful Joe as a character.
On him, I think he'll fit in the game perfectly. Easy to adapt his character. It'll be great. I don't think he'll be in it though because he's kind of faded into obscurity now. Like,
Well,
you know,
I think it depends on if they ever do like because the it was supposed to be a trilogy, but they never did the third one. If they ever do kind of a Bayonetta, I mean, I would have never picked Bayonetta to be in Smash. So I think
true.
it's one of those things like someday maybe like on the next generation console, if they're like,
Yeah.
oh, like we're finishing the trilogy and they'll port the first two games and make another one. Then, like, you know, because Xenoblade, like, no one had heard of Xenoblade, but now it's, like, back to being in a new game.
well, I think that's a game that's big in Japan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But,
So yeah, Beautiful Joe is my number one.
Like I said, I think he'd be a great fit. I just don't see it happening, but I would love to see him in the game.
Number two, I don't know if this would be possible because I know the original game was on the Sega, but I think there was a remake for the Nintendo consoles, and that's Sparkster from Rocket Knight. He is a possum. He is a possum with a jetpack and a sword, and one of my favorite games. I love Sparkster.
Probably too obscure. I wouldn't be against a possum with a jetpack in the game, but that sounds a bit on the obscure side.
And then my third one is a Paper Mario. I think Paper Mario would be fun, kind of play with that Game & Watch 2D, but like also have some RPG elements from the series. And I think it's a popular enough series that you could do that.
See, Paper Mario, I have mixed feelings about, like, yes, I think he'd be a great addition to, but like there's only 2 spots left. Do I really want him to get one of the last 2 spots kind of deal?
And then my third one, again, this is not who I think.
Fourth. This is fourth.
Or my fourth one, rather, is not necessarily a new character, but I think I love the Pokemon trainer, and I think they should kind of riff on that they should do a second Pokemon trainer, like, the original Pokemon trainer is Red, and he's got, like, the Kanto starters, Charizard, Squirtle, and Ivysaur. I think they should do Pokemon Trainer 2 or Silver or whatever you want to call it, and it's the second generation. It's basically the same character, but it would just be like with the second generation starters, and you could kind of have fun with that. You could even do it as like an alternate costume if you really wanted to. If you did want to take up a slot as a character.
Yeah, interesting.
So those are my 4 big ones. We can go over more later because I do have a million that I want to talk about. But you lay on me. So what are 3 of your like want characters?
Well, my biggest one, who is actually also one of the most speculated character to join, so there's actually is a really good chance he will join, is Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. I cannot understand why he's not already in the game.
I grew up on those games, playing them with my dad. He's a very classic video game character, and he's like he did fade into obscurity, but then he's now doing a big comeback with his re-release games, which are on the Switch, and the new sequel again also on the Switch now. It's like he's making a big comeback, and there was even. Now, it's an online movie, but someone was going, I hacked the file and I found music for Insanity Beach, which means the next character is going to be Crash. It's a shady online rumor, but like, there is a good chance it will be him, and I really do hope it's him because his cartoonish nature is perfect for the game, and he's just such an iconic character.
Yeah.
He'll fit in perfectly.
I think it's only a matter of time. If he's not in one of these 2 slots as the Fighter Pass, I think in some iteration he is such a, like, even though, like you said, he's not as popular as maybe he once was, he is such a fixture of, like, video game history that it's only a matter of time.
Now, here's a character I know will never be in the game, but will be fun. Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I know, especially because of the Disney aspect, there's no... people are predicting him, but I feel there's no way he actually gets in the game because of all the copyright issues. But I think he'd be a really fun cat. I think he'd be a fun character.
I think he would be. I didn't even think of that. That's a great pick. I don't think it's as complicated as you think it is, though. I think as long as like none of his like Disney friends come with him, I think if you just kept it to Sora and like the stage. Like if you kept it to the mythology that is unique to Kingdom Hearts and none of the Disney characters, I think you could just have the one copyright instead of having Mickey Mouse in Smash is never gonna happen.
Well, like I said, again, could never happen, but would be great. I don't want Donald and Goofy as characters. I would love it if they appear during his final Smash. Again, I know that would never happen, but that would be awesome if his final Smash. They come in and help him.
That would be pretty sweet. And I mean, I've never been a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, but like so many people would lose their minds.
Yeah. Let's see. Another character, possibly. I don't even know his name, but the main character from Ninja Gaiden. I find it kind of weird.
Yeah.
I find it weird that he's not in the game already. Like, I've never even played Ninja Gaiden, but that was a pretty big Nintendo series. Like, series, easy enough to adapt. Like, he's a character that I'm just like, really? You're not there already? Like,
it's true. It always does surprise me, like, that we get, like, you know, Wario or, like, some of these, like, more, you know, some of these, like, third, fourth tier. We get Piranha Plant before we get, like, the guy from Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so those are my big... Oh, here's a character who I know will never appear because he's exclusively Sony, but Ratchet and Clank, I think, would be an awesome addition.
That's another great one, yeah.
Like I said, I know it will never happen, but I think that would be super fun to see in the game.
That would be super fun. I know there was, like, a little bit of contention for a while there. They were trying to launch I forget what it was called. It was called, like, Ultimate All-Stars or something. It was a rival Sony branded imitation of Smash that failed. So now that it failed, let's get some of those characters in here. I want to see Spyro. I want to see Jak and Daxter.
Spyro could be a fun one too, but like I said, I mean, but when I played of his game, which admittedly is not much, his moves seem kind of a little bit more basic. I don't know how you're gonna make it too exciting. It's not like Crash Bandicoot, who you know he's gonna have his bazooka that shoots out fruit.
It's true, but you can really play with it, like, because not every character does the things that they do in their game. Like Pac-Man, like, summons Mappy. Like,
that's true.
Like some of the, you know, you could definitely have some fun with it. Like, you know.
Quick side note about Pac-Man: why does his like alternate costumes only change his gloves, and why is Miss Pac-Man?
That's a travesty. That is the biggest travesty ever. That you know, like, you can change hero's costume to be any of the heroes from any of the Dragon Quests, but Miss Pac-Man like, cannot be Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, like you could make Omar for Pikmin Alf. I don't even know who Alf is, but it should be like the same type of thing. Like, no, Miss Pac-Man does not need her own character. But
agreed.
She should be an alternate skin for Pac-Man.
Yeah, it's like the Koopalings. Like, they're playing with that more and more. It doesn't make any sense. Unless there's some weird copyright with Namco that they're like, oh no, you can use Pac-Man, but not Miss Pac-Man.
Oh, you want Miss Pac-Man? That's an extra $10 million.
Yeah, maybe. So I'll real quick, I will say there are a bunch of characters that like are in the game as like assist trophies or costumes that were kind of disappointing to me because top on my list would have been Bomberman, Cuphead, Tails, Zero. Like, these are characters that I want to see as characters in Smash.
Okay,
and they made it in as, like, cameo background things, but not as a full character.
Like, a character like Tails, for example, he doesn't fight. Like, it'd be harder to make him an interesting battle character. Cuphead, I feel like you can't do his 2D cartoon animation justice in that game. I feel that would be too complicated. But yeah, I mean, really, let's be honest here. They could have 100 characters in the game, and we'll still be saying, what about this character? What about that character?
Yeah, I mean, well, at this point, you know, you could always, like, you could fill up 100 slots with Pokemon, and still people would be like, hey, what about Gengar? Why isn't Gengar in the game?
Why isn't Magikarp a playable character in the game? I want my Magikarp!
But that is why I think it would be kind of fun if they could program, like, you know, the Pokemon trainer, have his alternate skins be different Pokemon trainers with different Pokemon.
Did your camera go out?
It did, but I just re-hit it, so now you can keep going.
Alright. Commercial break.
And
we're back.
And we're back with more.
Alright. So you would say Pokemon trainers should have all of his different characters.
Well, I just think, you know, if each of his alternate skins was like a different instead of basically what they seem to do is they seem to have like one or two new Pokemon from like whatever the latest Pokemon game is.
Yeah.
And I think instead of doing that, what they should, because there's getting to be a lot of Pokemon characters. I think instead of doing that, they should have each of Pokemon Trainer's alternate costumes be just a different generation starter, and like he'll have the 3 starters of whatever generation you're talking about. Because, I mean, we already got Incineroar, so, he's already programmed into the game.
Yeah. So, what is it like a character you love to see as, like, a joke character? Like, like kind of how Pichu was in Melee, that, nobody's gonna actually use, but it'd be funny if they actually put them in the game.
I mean, I don't know how in the world you could do it, but I would think it was really funny if they could somehow get Professor Layton in the game. And he's just like this posh British man with a top hat who like makes you solve riddles somehow. I think he'd work as an assist trophy probably more than an actual character, but it would be funny.
I think Baby Mario and Baby Luigi will make good joke characters.
Yeah, Baby Mario just to like as an echo fighter to Mario and Baby Luigi.
It's like Pichu. He hurts himself when he attacks. Completely useless, but funny that he's even in the game.
I also wouldn't mind if, like, there was an alternate costume of Yoshi that, like, came with Baby Mario, like, on his back, and he could, like, chuck Baby Mario at you or something.
Is Birdo's not even an assist trophy?
No, Birdo is another popular request. A lot of people love Birdo.
She's just in the background in the one level.
Yeah.
I feel like she should be an assist trophy.
I'm shocked. Again, Piranha Plant before Birdo doesn't make sense to me.
Well, like I said, I'm not so sure Birdo should be an actual playable character, but assist trophy. Oh, what about? I can't even remember there was that old comic book series about the guy who traveled through the Nintendo universes.
Captain N?
Yes, him.
Yeah.
He should be the game.
I mean, I don't know who like owns the rights to that, but I would think it was hilarious.
Like I said, maybe again, he's another person. Maybe not as the actual playing character, but as an assist trophy or as a me skin. Like,
I think that would be Captain. Oh my goodness, a Captain N me fighter skin as a blaster or whatever. That would be perfect.
Exactly. Like I said, it'd be a little bit much to create a whole character for him, but just give us his outfit as a me skin. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Which I do like the idea how they're doing that. Oh, here's characters that are not worth the effort to actually design the game, but here you can have a costume and say you're that character.
Exactly.
I do like that idea.
Yeah, in my dream world, I would love to see in the future iterations of this franchise to like you said, bring back all the stuff, bring back Break the Targets, bring back the story mode, bring back those fun challenges from Melee. I love those, fighting 127 Marios.
Also, I like, biting the zombies. You gotta go through that maze. That maze was fun. It
was that was
creepy.
fun.
Not gonna lie, it was a little creepy, but it was super fun too.
Bring in and do branch out. I like that they're branching out to like other franchises. It makes it more fun to have like some unexpected characters.
Though I know a lot of people want him. I do not want Master Chief in the game. Just no.
Again, I wouldn't mind only because I do feel like he's so iconic, but I do kind of feel like he would stomp a little bit on Snake's. It sounds weird because the characters are nothing alike, but I almost feel like he'd be an alternate skin for Snake just because.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's another thing about Master Chief. By design, he intentionally has no personality.
Well, I mean, again, not to harp on it too much, but Piranha Plant. How much character does Piranha Plant have?
Piranha Plant is an animal type thing. He's like an animal. So anyway, maybe I would take a Master Chief Gunner me outfit. That I would be okay with, but.
I think I could easily see that. Like we got the Fallout character as a me fighter.
Yeah. But they definitely should do I just had that idea now, but the more I think about Captain M really should be a me. The more I think about it, the more I'm mad that it's not there already.
I am genuinely surprised. It would be so easy. Just get that jacket with the N and.
And he's He has that
Perfect.
blaster.
I'd pay $1.99 for that.
Yeah. Oh, and another, the one character we haven't mentioned, Rayman. I think that's his name, right?
Ooh, that's a good
game.
point. Rayman is another character that.
A lot of people want him, predict him. I think he's like the number 2 prediction after Crash, really.
Yeah. I'd like them to focus, like you said, on more of expanding to different franchises rather than adding new people from the same franchise. Like, it's always a letdown for me if it's like, oh, well, we already had Shulk, here's some more people from Shulk's game. It's like, oh, here's Fire Emblem, here's more Fire Emblem. Like,
here's some more people from games that nobody in America plays.
Like, I mean, to be fair, like, I love Mega Man, and I would love, like, to have Zero and Bass and like, all the other Mega Man characters in Smash. But if you're giving me the choice of either more characters from a game that's already in Smash or new characters from a franchise that's not currently in Smash, I'd rather see more franchises represented.
Yeah. Alright, so we've gone on really long here. I think maybe it's time to call it quits.
Yeah, I could talk about Super Smash for a long time.
Oh yeah. I'm not saying call it quits because I have nothing else to say. I have a million
But you
more
have to
things
edit this
say.
podcast, not me, so...
Exactly. I have a million more things to say here, but I'll be surprised if people are still listening at this point. Definitely not after I finish my other million ideas I have about this. So
All right.
For the one person still listening, thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Have a good night, good morning, good whatever time of day it is. And yeah, bye.
Bye-bye.